Hi, welcome to the Christmas house tutorial where the address is 2020. Today I'm going to show you how to use driftwood to make this house with a tree, a wreath, and a snowman. Notice the heart that goes along with our hearts in the windows for 2020. One of the best things to come out of 2020, I would say. And I also, before you start, want to show you how you can use all this to make a Christmas tree, because a lot of you have been asking me if your littler ones, your 3, 4, and sometimes 5-year-olds, if this kit would work for them. And I think it can. And when I was thinking about that, I thought, well, you know, if the house was a little bit too difficult, I could also show you a way to use all those same pieces to make a Christmas tree. So this was the wreath piece, and I was going to put it on as a star. And I haven't decorated this because I'm going to do it with you. But the snowman piece, a present, or actually no, this was the tree and this was the snowman, and I made them into presents. So I'm going to walk you through both of those. I'm going to start with the Christmas house, and then I'm going to do, maybe I'll do it side by side. We can do it together. So I kind of wanted to show you that first so that you could see before you start that there are 2 choices, and some of your littler ones, this would work really nicely. And as you can tell, all the driftwood is different, and that's because you want it to be unique. So this is another piece that I painted for the house, and I painted it for time's sake. I just used 2 colors of paint and divided it up, a roof and then a base. And for this one's already dry, so you'll want to pause me and do this part. And then once it's completely dry, because we're using an acrylic paint, it's a thicker paint, and actually this paint that I ordered is quite thick, and so it covers the driftwood really nicely. But you want it to dry completely. That is like the number one thing when you're painting this driftwood and you're trying to add windows or decorations or anything like that. You want it to be completely dry. So you go ahead and decide what 2 colors you want to use to paint your house or your tree. What I like to do is the first step of painting for each, so that you can let it all dry and then work on the second step together. You have this blue paint, and I used it for this base, but I just added a little bit of white and lightened it up till I got a color that I liked. And so you've got your house, and then you're going to want to paint your snowman. Same thing, divide it up, do the hat and the body, and then the tree. You're going to want to paint your tree and then let it dry. Now, if you decide to do the giant tree, the giant Christmas tree with presents, I thought that it would look good to have sort of like a topper on the present, and it could just be a box like that, or it could kind of look like a bow, or we could even paint on top of here a bow. This one kind of already looked like it came up like a bow for the present, so I did 2 colors again. I added white to the red and made this pinky color, and I made a light blue with this, mixing the blue and the white. And then I made a star with the wreath. I just painted it yellow, and mine are all dry. So I'm going to start with my house. So I want to put a door and some windows. And on this one, you can see I painted some windows, and I put a little ledge by just putting a little bit of black at the bottom. It was a really nice detail. I also took this down because I've made houses a couple times with Driftwood, and there's just so many different ways that you can do your windows, and they all look so cute. This was just doing white squares, yellow squares, which I let dry completely, and then I did the black cross. And then this is actually a really fun one. I like this one because it's just so different, but so pretty. And it's just little black dots, kind of like on the dice, the 4 on the dice. So I'm gonna do, I don't know what kind of windows I'm gonna do yet, but I'm gonna get started in making the house. So I'm gonna move my camera down so that you can see what I'm doing better. I'll move my paint out of the way. So I want it nice and close for you. So one thing that I really like to do, you've got this little fine brush in your kit, and I like to, I don't know, I call it cleaning it up because it just tidies up the look. So I like to do a border line, and I just run it across here, and it just makes it look a little more finished. So I've got that, and then I also have a little cloth and some water because I want to dry my brush and wash it in between. You don't need a whole bunch of brushes when you're doing these kind of crafts. You just need a few little extra things to help you clean in between. Okay, so let's do some windows. I think I'm gonna put some yellow windows on here. I think that would look really cute on the blue. Sometimes the yellow, sometimes the yellow is a little light, and if you find it's too light for the look that you want, then just let it dry and do another coat. I just like to start and work my way across and kind of dab. And then I'll do the same coming up this way. And I think that looks cute. Do another one beside. Your windows are really going to depend on the size of your wood. All the wood is really different. It all comes from Williston Lake, which is in northern BC. Most of you who are purchasing the box are in the Fort St. John area, so you know about Williston Lake and have probably been there, which is really cool because now maybe you're gonna collect your own driftwood and make your own crafts after testing out some of these. So I'm just going to go like that. And I just added, I wanted to even that out a bit. I'm gonna actually leave it like that because I wanna see what happens when I put my door on. I painted my wreath green, and so that's gonna go right here. So I wanna wash my brush, and I want to put on a door, and I think I'm gonna do a white door to kind of match this white line that I put on. And I'm gonna actually, because the way this wood is, I wanna kind of do a curved door. So I'm going to kind of stretch it down and come along this side and stretch it down. And remember, if you've decided to do the tree, the big tree with the presents, you can fast forward. And I will get to that. because I think for our toddlers, that would just be a great little craft for them. Okay, so I got my door. It's a little crooked, but that's kind of the whole thing with these driftwood houses, is they're not meant to look perfect. They're kind of like I don't know, like a rustic outdoorsy. I imagine like little gnomes living in them. They could go in your garden type of thing. So I've got my door, and I'm gonna wash my brush again. And I wanna show you, because I'm gonna need my windows to dry before I put any lines in them. I think I actually might do the same thing that I did on my pink house and just do the windowsills, but you can also put like little shutters on. I think I have, no, I don't have an example of that, but you could put little shutters on the side. When we do the ornament video, there's like the top and bottom. So I think what I'll do is even though my yellow's not dry, I'm gonna be really careful just to show you for time's sake. I'm gonna take my black and I'm just gonna dab it across the bottom. The reason you want it dry is because it will mix. It'll just blend if it's wet. But if you're careful and you just layer it on top, you can do it when it's wet. But if you're just starting out and you're not really comfortable doing that, then I would just wait. But it adds a nice touch. So I'm gonna dab those. Kind of looks like his eyes. That's really cute. Put a little doorknob on, and see that's not quite dry, so if I don't layer it on top, it'll turn gray. So I'm gonna let that dry a bit and move on to my snowman. And I've already done the hat and the bottom, the body. And so I'm gonna dab 2 eyes. Like that. And then when I do a mouth, when I do a dotted mouth, so I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna leave room in the middle for the nose. I'm gonna do a dab, and then I do it right in the center, and then I just kind of work my way up on both sides. And then we'll put a nose in there, or yeah, a carrot nose in there. And then I always like a snowman with buttons, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, which is really cute. And then because you don't have orange, I'm gonna show you how to mix orange. You're going to use yellow and orange, or yellow and orange to make orange, yellow and red. So I'm gonna take some yellow and put it on my lid, use it as a palette. I'm gonna dab some red in there and mix it up. And you just have to practice with this. So when you're mixing, so this is still quite red, and that means that I'm gonna need to put some more yellow in. And take some more. And mix it up. And you might need to wash this when you put the lid back on your paint. But I'm starting to like how that's looking. It's like a tangerine. And you can just play around till you get the color you want. But I like that. And what I'm gonna do with this small brush, it's a nice flat, like strong brush. It's not flimsy. And you're gonna take it and just kind of dab and you can see, got your little carrot nose, very cute. And you'll want that to dry all the way. In your kit, there's ribbon, and it's in there because it's like bundling up some of your wood, or there's a little tie on your card kit. And what you're going to do, I just took this one. This is like a blue piece. I'm gonna make him a scarf with this. So everything in the kit is kind of to use. You're gonna use some of it to make your ornament ties, and some of it for your wreath, we're gonna need a little ribbon. So I'm gonna go like this, and I'm just gonna tie it, and then I'm gonna tie it into a knot. And then he's got a nice little scarf on. That's pretty cute. So I'm gonna put him off to the side. I also have this tree. And as you can see, like this one was a really big set, and this one is a lot smaller. One thing that I wanted to do a little bit different is you can see that I put the snow on this tree. And so I just took the white and I just kind of dabbed it across, and I thought that looked really cool, like some snow. But I also wanted to show you what it looked like if you just put some decorations on and maybe a little yellow at the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my yellow and I'm gonna do like a little dab here, and that's gonna be my little star at the top. Right now it kind of looks like a pickle. There we go. And then I'm gonna do some little lights. I'm just gonna kind of scatter it. Now that really looks like some kind of vegetable, doesn't it? So we've got some lights on there. And then I'm gonna wipe my brush off and put some red on. When you're working with this paint, you're gonna notice how nice and thick it is. And it really layers nicely. The coverage is so good. And I'm gonna add some blue too. So I'm just going to wipe that off and do some blue. Oh, that's cute. And there's another little tree idea. And in thinking about making the house just into a tree altogether, that's what we're going to do with our big tree. That'll look so cute. Okay, so I've got my snowman. I've got my tree, and I need my wreath. Now on this wreath, I just want to show you, I left the middle with the wood, and I just kind of did a circle of green around. You could even actually, looking at this, you could paint that black so it looked like you could see the door behind it. So now this wreath, I just did the whole thing green, and my door is white. So I'm gonna put white in the middle of this to make it look like you can see the door behind, so that'll give the illusion that there is a hole in the middle. And then I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with my little tree. I'm going to put some Christmas decorations on it. So I'm just gonna dab some yellow around, and then I'm going to do some red. and a little blue. And you can do whatever colors you want, because you might want to play around and mix your colors and make different colors than the colors I've given you. You've got all the primary colors, and then you've got black and white to make any color darker or lighter. So there's my little wreath. And I've got my house. And I actually want to see what this one looks like if I add this at the top. Kind of finishes it off a bit more. Gives it a little more detail. That's cute. And then when this is dry, I'll glue these things on. The other last little thing that you're also going to want to do with your wreath is you're going to want to make a bow for the bottom. So I just took, and you might need your parents' help for this, but I just took a little piece of ribbon and tied it into a little bow. And when you tie it, if it's not totally even, you can just pull this so that it is, and then you can clip the end. Now, the only thing that you need for this kit is a glue gun, and I have mine plugged in. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this, even though actually maybe I'll put it on the actual wreath, even though it's not dry, just for time's sake. I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna go like that and push the little bow on. That's so cute. And I can see that I need to trim the end. Okay, there you go. And then on here, I'm going to put some glue for my snowman and for my tree. Now you can see how this is kind of wobbly. So I'm going to do my tree so that it like makes it a little more stable. So I'm going to put glue up here. I have a little red on my finger, but that's going to all get covered up, so that's okay. Go like that. I don't know, this still looks like a pickle or something to me, but it's cute. Oh, that's so cute. They're all gonna turn out so different, and I'm really excited for those of you that are doing it with your brothers and sisters, because you're all just gonna have like a sweet little house. So I'm going to, even though my white's not dry, you're gonna wait till yours is dry. I just want you to see. So I'm gonna put a big thing of glue there, and hopefully it sticks well so I can show you. I'm gonna stick my wreath on, and then I'm gonna stick my snowman on. Like this. Okay. That is so cute. And the yellow is almost dry, so I'm going to show you a really quick way to do a heart. It's just 2 little lines. Oops. And so all you do is you take your brush and just get a little bit of paint on it, and you just go like this and like this, and then you can kind of keep coming in and make it as thick as you want. But you're basically doing a V, but with paint. And you can change it, like if you were driving around during COVID I know we're still kind of in it, but, and you saw all the people's hearts and they were all over their windows and it was so cute. I also like on this one how, let me get an up close of it, how you could do a circle and leave some of the driftwood behind to give that natural look and do a heart in the middle. Another thing that you can do, and what I'll do with this one, this piece of wood just kind of looked like it had a chimney. I'm going to do one right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some white, because this has some white trim and some white details, so I think the white will look good. And I'm just going to do a little oval right in the chimney. And sometimes I just start in the middle and then just kind of like work it around. And remember, it does not have to be perfect and smooth. Just have fun with this. Be creative. So there's a little circle. And then I'm going to wipe my brush off. And okay, this white is gonna be so wet, so it's gonna be tricky because when you do it, you're gonna let it dry. You're gonna pause me, you're gonna go get a snack, go to the bathroom, take a little break, and yours will be dry. But mine isn't, and I just wanna show you. So I'm just gonna go like that, get myself a little line, and I'm gonna do it again. And I'm gonna come this way. I'm just gonna dab it. And I can tell I need some more up here, but it's pulling the white. So let me just dab a bit more. And I got a cute little heart. And if it was dry, it would be a lot better, but I think that's still pretty cute. So there's our little Heart Home 2020. This one didn't actually have enough room for an address. You can see on this one. Sorry guys, but that is so Miss Mervin with her technology. Okay, here's this one. I did have enough room on this one for a little address. So if you want to do that too, you could put a little address on. You have some markers in your kit, and this one I did in marker, but I wanted to show you both ways. So you would just take your pen and do that. So that's the Heart Home. Now this is the Christmas tree, and we have 2 presents and a star. I thought with the star, we could do some detail on the inside to make it look like it was shining. So I'm gonna wipe my brush off and I'll go back to